is Saturday, the 15th of October. This is the Vegas Underdog coming to you with more picks. This is for college football only. We'll be doing another episode for hockey and baseball, but this one's just for college football right now. We've been 5-0 in college football in the last 3 days. We had a horrible start to college football, so we're hoping this is a turnaround. We're starting to understand the teams a little bit more. The numbers are starting to come through a little bit more. It's always a little harder to start college football because there's not much to go off in the off season like the other professional sports because it is college. But we've got 10 games for you today, which we feel really good about. We're going to start off with the Michigan versus Penn State game. They're -7 in Michigan. Haven't thought much about Penn State. Don't think they've played anyone really tough. I think Michigan will stop them scoring and will cover the -7 spread. Next game is going to be Iowa State versus Texas. Now, I know Texas has been blowing everyone away, but Iowa State's defense, thinking they're going to hang in there in that +15.5. I think that's too big of a spread, and we think Iowa State's going to cover +15.5. Next game is going to be Arkansas versus BYU. Two very similar teams. But I think Arkansas is a better version of BYU. So we're taking Arkansas +1 in that one. Next game is going to be Eastern Michigan versus NIU. Eastern Michigan are -3 at home, and we think they'll cover that spread easy. Then we're going to look at Indiana versus Maryland. Now, it's +11 are Indiana at home against Maryland. I think there could be an upset in that one. I think Indiana might win it, but definitely cover it. So really like Indiana to cover that spread at +11. That's definitely one of our top favorites. Next game is going to be Oklahoma State versus TCU. Oklahoma State +4 on the road against TCU. I think TCU might win that game still, but by a field goal. So we're taking Oklahoma State +4. Then we've got Georgia Southern versus James Madison. Now, where does this James Madison team come from? Obviously, haven't been a D1 school before, so now they seem to be blowing everyone out. They covered the spread against Arkansas State last week, winning by 22. We had Arkansas State. We're sticking to the system. We're taking Georgia Southern +12.5. It's at Georgia Southern. Something's got to give in this James Madison team, surely. And Georgia Southern's not a bad team. Next game's going to be Florida versus LSU. Game's going to be in Florida. Down there in the swamp, we're going to take Florida -2.5 versus LSU. No, LSU's gotten better over the last few games, but on the road, we still don't think they're going to be good enough, so we're going to be taking Florida there -2.5. Next game's Utah versus USC. Obviously, USC's had a great start to the season. Lincoln Riley's had a great start to his coaching career over at USC, but going to Utah, we think it's going to be a different story. Their defense is going to probably clamp down on Caleb Williams, and at -3, we're going to take Utah to cover the spread. We think their defense is going to win them that game. Last game is going to be Washington State versus Oregon State. Washington State are +3 on the road, and that's what we'll be taking. We'll be taking Washington State +3. So that's the 10 games. Michigan -7, Iowa State +15.5, Arkansas +1, Eastern Michigan -3, Indiana +11, Oklahoma State +4, Georgia Southern +12.5, Florida -2.5, Utah -3, and Washington State +3. That's our 10 games. If we had to pick our best one of the lot, probably be that Indiana +11, but we also really do like that Utah -3. So let's kill it on this Saturday, and we'll be back for our MLB playoff and NHL episode, which we feel really good about our picks already, but we haven't finalized them, so we'll be back at a later time for those. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and we'll catch you on the next episode.